name's Janiel. Welcome to Culture Trekking, where I try to collect unique stories from around the globe that focus on sustainable adventure and cultural connections. I call Utah home, but today I am taking on a road trip from Vilnius, Lithuania to Riga, Latvia. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are just piling in the bus here with not Laura, but Laura. Laura. This is our guide for today. I will link her tour down below. I got Jim next to me here, and the rest of the peeps in the back. We are lovingly calling this the party bus. Hi. So I got Tippy and Aaron and Dom, and then in the back here we've got David, back with Shirley and Camure. It was fun to be able to ask Laura all of the features of land I didn't really understand, like the central heating for their homes and which grocery stores are the best. Okay, so we are still driving, road trip queen here. Man, I'm still a little jet lagged. So we're headed to Kaunas, then Hill of Crosses, and then Rundale, and then to Riga. So if you are in Vilnius, this is a great way to cross the border and see the countryside, really get into, the landscape and things like that. Might take a nap before we get to our first place. Welcome to Kaunas. This is a former capital of Lithuania in the 90s and a UNESCO City of Design.
How much in general do you know about Lithuania? Be honest. I know. Okay, very good. Actually, usually, all the time, I'm waiting. I'm expecting people to say, "Oh, nothing," or 0 or 10, which is also totally normally normal.
This city hall is nicknamed the White Swan because of the long, tall tower that looks like a swan's neck. The tower itself is 173 feet high, or 53 meters. There are 5 churches that surround the old town square, and of those 5 churches, you have an example of nearly every architectural style before the 1800s. In the corner of Old Town Square, you will find this house called the Flaming House, or the House of Perkunas. This house was built in the 14th century in a gorgeous Gothic style. They were rebuilding it and found the pagan figure called Perkunas in the walls. He was the god of thunder and sky. Now it is a museum for Adam Mickiewicz, this guy, an incredibly important Polish poet and political activist. Be sure to check out the written guide in the description box below of all the things you can see and do while in Kaunas. I would definitely give yourself at least 2 days there if you are able to have more time. Then it was back in the bus to head towards the Hill of Crosses. We passed this unique artistic house that apparently houses the museum for the end of the Jewish ghetto in Kaunas. Being the road trip queen that I am, I could never pass up a good gas station, and what is more unique than stopping at one in a different country? I must say that Lithuania has one leg up on American gas stations, though eating food at an American gas station feels like a little bit of a gamble for my gut. These guys had vegetarian options, fruit, the salad doesn't look like it's 90 years old. They have some corny bars that were pretty delicious and hot dogs in the back that instead of putting it in an envelope-like bun, they put it into a pocket so it's spill and mess free. Brilliance. Thank you. So when they say hill, they really mean like
a bump.
it's a bump.
No, actually, you see, funny thing is that in Lithuanian language is kryžių Kaunas, and the word Kaunas stands for mountain.
Do you ever have those moments in your life where you have wanted to go someplace for a very long time, and then all of a sudden you realize you're standing there, and you are there, and you've made it? This was one of those surreal moments for me. Okay, so the little babushka, the grandma at the vendor station, they are selling these crosses that you can put up on the hill, make a wish, and you put it wherever you feel like it's the most prominent or important for you. It does cost about €4, and they have like amber for sale, which is really popular in this region as well. We're headed over to the Hill of Crosses now, and this place was started as kind of like a rebellion where they would put the crosses on this hill, or more like a mound, and rebellion to the Soviet Union. Well, the Soviet Union didn't like it, and so they came over with bulldozers and burned it 5 different times. And the more that they took it down, the more that people would come and put crosses up again. So now they have this Hill of Crosses that it's growing every single year, and you really can't even count how many crosses there are now, because there are so many. So let me try and catch up with the group. I got caught up looking at all the amber jewelry. I love collecting jewelry from different countries just because it's so interesting, and I don't know, maybe it's plastic, but I'm a sucker for it. So we're gonna I'm here with Tippy and some others of the group, but we're gonna head up to the top here because apparently it's one of the top spookiest places in Lithuania or the world, did she say?
I can't remember.
We're both jet lagged, but we asked her why, and she goes, go to the top and then tell me why you think it is. Ooh, yeah, it is kind of creepy. Whew, look at this. While you could definitely let your imagination run wild here, and I probably wouldn't want to be here after dark, I did like to think that this is a special place where you can remember loved ones that you've lost. This is the cross that I hung for my grandmother. Well, I'm not really Catholic, but I think any UNESCO World Heritage Site is really cool to come see just because of how much it means to the culture. Such a cool place. I got a little lost in the trails at the Hill of Crosses, so it was a mad dash to Rundale Palace. This is why I love road trips. You get to see beautiful landscapes that you wouldn't otherwise see and stop at unique places like Rundale Palace.
The Peter the Great. I mean, who never heard about that dude? He is awesome. He wanted to cut the window through the Western Europe and to bring to massive, stubborn Russian Empire. Imagine 1703, he established St. Petersburg, only in the beginning of 18th century. And then after 7 years, he wanted to take a shortcut. Yeah, guys, so now if you can imagine the map, So which way to take? The easiest and the shortest, through the Baltics, of course. And well, he started the Great Northern War, and somehow he managed to win. He managed to kick out Swedes from here. Just maybe he had better cannons, stronger men, better drinks, to have before before the fights. Yeah, guys, you actually know that eventually everyone dies. So Peter wasn't an exception. We're probably also not an exception, yeah? So when Peter died, Anna became his niece because he didn't have children. He became the ruler of massive Russian Empire. She ruled only for 10 years, from 1730 till 1740. And being a young girl, having a lot of money, she wasn't very interested in ruling, palaces or ruling some kind of Latvian, village. For that reason, she found a lover, which was Byron, of course. Yeah, and he realized, oh, ka-ching! Money, 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 always funny. And the rich ones were all, yeah, my love, I will help you. But in terms of that, he managed to take some money for himself, and he wasn't a nobleman or such. He was just a sneaky German Baltic who realized, okay, I can, have a little fun, yeah? Who has ever in the Google images saw Hermitage? Do you see any similarities with this little tiny palace?
Now did you see it?
He invited the same architect, Rastrelli, to come here and to build a summer palace for himself. Not a bad thing, yeah? But also what happened that those two lovebirds, they actually had something in common. They really love to kill people. Oh. Yeah, they were sending people to Siberia, to a different part of the Russia, just for fun. Yeah, I know. But when Anna died, probably all know Catherine the Great became Empress, and she gave a little tiny present to Lord Byron. One-way ticket to die. For his bad behavior. Between that First and the Second World War, nobody to take care about this palace. Nobody, because, we had,
Other problems.
Exactly, very well said. Yeah, and when Soviets came, once again, this palace wasn't an exception. They remade it. They divided, basically, the palace into two sides. So one became just military hospital, something like that, to recover, to have some space, and another became just the warehouse. But as I mentioned, in 80s and before that, something started to crack in Soviet Union, and Latvian Soviet government decided, well, actually we have this beauty here. Why not to start to renovate it little by little, yeah? So they allowed that, and can you imagine, it took us 42 years to have this beautiful palace. And I don't know if you know.
I truly wish we had more time to explore Rundale Palace, but we had to make our way over to one of the most moving memorials I've ever been to. This is Salaspils Memorial. This place once housed a police prison and labor correctional camp. As you approach the gates, you can read the words, "Beyond these gates, the land groans." The Nazis and those who assisted them did not care if it was men, women, or children, and 20,000 souls found themselves here working heavy labor in extreme conditions of the Baltics. 2,000 to 3,000 women and children and men lost their lives in these camps. It is one of the largest monuments in Europe dedicated to the victims of Nazi terrorism. There are 7 statues throughout the park, and I found it even more chilling at night because if you listen closely, there is a heartbeat that beats for those who've lost their lives here, and it never stops. There are 7 statues that represent Mother, the Unbroken, the Humiliated, the Protest, the Red Front, Solidarity, and the Oath. I would highly suggest that you visit both during the day and in the evening because it is very moving and a poignant reminder of never forgetting the past. When choosing an accommodation in Riga, Latvia, make sure to choose a hotel with a spa. I'll explain more in the next video, but let me show you around my room. Alright, so here's my room. I'll go into the bathroom first. Nice little Look at how pretty. This is all velvet. Mirror, desk, coffee. Favorite color blue. The bridge. So pretty. All right, so that's going to conclude our video for today of how to get from Tallinn to Riga and see some of the more off the beaten path places. So if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video where I take you all around Latvia with the sights, sounds, tastes, and spas. It's one of the top scoopiest. God, the jet lag is really hitting me today.